I've just finished watching the Make Up Your Own Mind video that's been released by the Mothers and Fathers Matter group. They're a campaign group that's campaigning for a no vote in the upcoming marriage equality referendum. The video is a nice little idea that people should make up their own mind, which I think is wonderful and completely agree with it. I think making up your own mind in a referendum is based on facts and reasonable argument. They feel in this video that they haven't had the opportunity to have a lot of their concerns voiced or at least responded to because they feel like they're being oppressed in some way. The irony is stifling. So I thought, let's address those questions. Let's have a look at what's going on here. So the first question they ask is, how will it affect the children? Which I hope is coming from a place of compassion and integrity. Doubts are arising because it's followed by voiceover lady saying, I don't like the idea of children made to order, which is a fairly positive assertion. I don't like the idea of children made to order too, but luckily for me and voiceover lady, that's not a real thing. So if we're being dismissive of surrogacy and IVF, maybe we should consider the fact that these are already being used and will not change. IVF and surrogacy are not going to disappear after this referendum. They are used by heterosexual couples and homosexual couples alike, and I'm afraid, Mothers and Fathers Matters, that we can't destroy that by voting no. Good try though. But okay, let's bring it back to the children. How would it affect the children? Let's see. There are a number of children in Ireland, like a lot of them, and not all of them have a family that has a mother and father. So I kind of feel like if we really, really care about the children, we should look at all the children equally. And I think that any situation in which a child is being supported and loved by an adult is a positive situation, be it a child that's born to a heterosexual couple, a child that's being raised by a same-sex couple, a child that's being raised by a single parent, a child who's a ward of the state. If there is somebody that's willing to love and support that child and help them to develop, I think that we should support that relationship in any way that we can and protect it. I think any child deserves to have somebody that loves them, and I think undermining any structure that's put in place where a child can be loved and supported is not in the benefit of a child. I think it comes from a place of judgment, and it's not a supportive environment. I think a supportive environment is one where we say to a child, hey, if somebody loves you, that's good. That's great. We can't question that. Be it two loving, committed gay parents, be it a foster parent, anything. If it's a child's family, that child deserves to be supported within that, and we can't judge. But we should protect it. We should do whatever we can to protect that relationship so that child feels supported and adequate and doesn't have to question the amount of love they're receiving. So if you really care about the kids, care about the kids. That's it. So I think that one puts that one to bed. The next one is about civil partnership. Fair enough. If you feel like gay people, if civil partnership is enough for them, and you think gay people should have civil partnership and straight people should have marriage, then you do feel like there's an inequality because you're naming it. And I think the fact that Mothers and Fathers Matter have put marriage so much on a pedestal that it needs to be protected from other people means that you do feel like that's more worthy. And so you're holding something up, saying it's wonderful, and then saying you won't give it to anybody else. And that's not very Christian. That's just my opinion. Let me see. Then you talk about the people in the north who are in trouble because they didn't support a gay couple. That's just discrimination. That's just the 9 grounds of discrimination. Gay people didn't invent that. That's just about equality, which is a difficult concept, but I feel like we're getting there. So don't worry about it. You'll eventually weed it out. It'll come up in college. It'll come up in your workplace. You'll get used to hearing all about the 9 grounds. But that's not anything to do with this referendum. That's to do with the fact that you can't discriminate against people because it's not cool. Let's see, the next point, and I think it's really the crux of this argument, is the internet mob kind of thing. Everyone's got so scary, and I think that it's unfair that people are getting so hysterical and calling the no side bigots and homophobes and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's true. I think when online stuff goes mental, people suffer. And I think that also comes down to, kind of like the kids thing, down to compassion. So I think if we're going to look at the suffering that's as a result of this, and the silencing and the oppression, then I would like to tell you what it really, really feels like. So I realised that I was gay when I was about 12, and I didn't really tell people until I was 17, and anecdotally I've been told that that's pretty much the same experience for most people. So I have 5 years of kind of being incognito amongst the straight people, and when you're there, you hear a lot of stuff that's kind of scary, because when people feel like there's no gay people in the room, sometimes they have the freedom to express the beliefs that are a little bit murkier. So I remember being at an event and hearing somebody say, "Oh, I don't believe in homosexuality. It's disgusting." And I sat there and I remember the shaky feeling that arose in me of, do they know? Like, will they realize from my reaction that I'm gay? And then will they tell me to, like, they obviously don't think that I'm okay. Like, they think there's something wrong with me. And those things happen so often, and you hear people say, like, it's so gay, and, oh, he's only a faggot. And it arises such a fear in you, because you know that that person isn't going to defend you if something happens. You know that that person thinks that there's something inherently wrong with you. And it's so scary. I don't know if you've ever felt that, when you feel like, I'm at a position of danger now. Like, people don't care about the quality of my character. People just care about this one part of me, and they're judging it. And it's disempowering, because it makes you feel like regardless of what I do, somebody is against me. And during my teens, keeping that hidden inside and allowing myself to hear it and to pack it in and say, like, I'm not worthy and I don't deserve love, and because you hear these things and then you put them inside you and they build and they calcify. And I began to believe that I wasn't worthy, and it ended up with me having a huge breakdown, and I decided to check out. I didn't want to be alive anymore. I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't. It was just overwhelming. And then I found, and then I met my girlfriend, and it was incredible. And she loved me, and she loved me even though I was dark and brooding and sad and scared, and she loved me into a place of pure brightness. And she still does, and it's been 5 years, and she's been there through so many things in my life, and held my hand when I've cried, and sat beside my hospital bed, and bought me shirts for funerals, and done all those wonderful things that people do when they love each other. And it's been so special and so rewarding. But there's a bit of me that still fears that if I'm this strong and happy and in love, and those posters hurt me so much, what must it be like for a 16 or 17-year-old that was struggling the way I was? To be sitting in a room and hearing their family debate whether or not they're worthy. To hear somebody in your family say gay people shouldn't get married, and think, my sister's allowed to get married, but my own parents don't feel like I could be a good mom because I want to have kids with a woman. You know, there's kids that are hearing that and that are owning that feeling in this country because of the words that we're so casually bandying about. They're looking at posters and thinking, maybe I shouldn't be a parent. Maybe I'm not good enough to be loved. Maybe I can't have that dream of getting married and being happy. And we're putting that in their heads. We're damaging our young people by casually having a debate about whether or not they have worth. And for me, that's just not good enough. So I struggle to be compassionate a lot of the time during this debate. I really, really struggle to feel like there is a space for both sides. And I don't think that's fair either, but it's what I'm struggling with. And it's just me being honest, because I think the crux of this is honesty. If you feel like everybody is equal and everybody deserves love, I cannot understand why you would vote no. I struggle with it. And I understand that it's almost impossible to grow up in Ireland and not be a little bit homophobic. It's everywhere. I've said stuff that's homophobic. I've felt homophobic. I've hated myself because I feel like this country has allowed for it at every opportunity. But I don't think it can go unchallenged. So I can forgive people, yes. But it takes a lot of strength. And I can understand that there's growth in it. I can understand that you might start out thinking that's wrong. And then you'll come to a conclusion that it's not. But when you come to that conclusion, I don't want you to look back and think, I voted no and I shouldn't have. I should have known better. And I think a lot of people do know better by now. And I would hope that you would find it in your heart to support other people. And even if there's a doubt, to say, yes, let's try. Yes, and let's grow into it. Because I think the children of Ireland deserve it. Thanks.